Hi everyone, today I have this JBL Stage 130 mini monitor speakers. This is same binding post that you can find on most of the JBL speakers. So this is a bass tuning port. This area is plastic and inside is, I think, hardened cardboard in there. Let me take out the grill. So grill is pretty nice, and they change it from plastic to metal pins inside. And then there is a little opening for the tweeter. That's a little more attention to detail. The tweeter is aluminum dome tweeter with waveguide, and the horn is designed based on JBL Studio M2 Pro monitor speakers. Most noticeable improvement or design change is this polycellulose mid-bass and bass driver. By the time I'm reviewing these are around like 200 to 250 hours of usage, so very well broken in. Overall, fit and finish quality is just about right in this price range. I have nothing really to complain, and it does say Stage on top of the speakers. In my opinion, this is the one of the most detailed sounding speakers in this price range. So clarity, details, transparency, and very wide, expensive soundstage that this little speaker can produce. Wide dispersion soundstage is as big as bigger speakers regardless of the price, and this speaker can rock. So this little mini monitor speaker can give you small mini rock concert in your room. That's how much they can reproduce the sound accurately and effortlessly. It can be very dynamic sounding, lifelike, realistic soundstage, and reproducing the music with accurate, articulated sound. But there are some downsides. I will get to it later. So I want to start with the bass driver or bass performance of the speakers. I really like this bass driver because remind me of vintage classic JBL like L1 original L100 speakers. I think that's where they started this kind of white drivers. I really like the JBL going back to white polycellulose bass drivers. Bass performance of the speaker is better than the my PSP P5 mini monitor speakers. It's deeper as well. It may not have the tightness that PSP P5 can produce. So that is the a little minus for me. Bass performance is good, very deep for the size of the driver, and pretty clean and good definition. PSP P5 have a bit more tightness in the bass performance. Otherwise, bass performance is very good for the size and price of the speakers. So I have no complaint on bass performance because it has the clarity, details, and definition that rival to like ELEC B6.2 or PSP P5 or those high quality, budget friendly speakers. Let's get to a mid-range. The drum notes, percussion, cymbal strike, snare drums, rolling drums, amazingly good for this price and this size of the speakers. Very realistic sounding, very musical, and very natural, I should say. And clarity between the upper bass to lower mid-range, mid-range to upper mid-range to higher frequency. Those transitions are very smoothly and very good integration of the drivers. Very nicely integrated and well designed crossover network and producing the sound with great authority and purity. Any media you throw at them, they will produce with honesty. That's the one thing I can tell you for sure. If your recording is good, they will sound good. This speaker will totally reflect the whatever the media that you put in. Mid-range is great. Vocals, females and male vocals are very accurate, true to source material that you put in, very nice and wide dispersion of the sound signature and musical soundstage that this speaker can produce. Price to performance, that's the one thing that most important factor for me and when I'm reviewing the product. So retail price is $299.99 and you get this kind of clarity, detail and big wide soundstage with a decent bass performance, good mid-range. Then it's come down to highs. Most important for me when I listen into JBL speakers because they tend to get bright. This one is no exception. So highs are like a bit forward and bright for normal music listening, like average music listening, that's what I meant. But if you like heavy metal, hard rock, this guy can shine. Full Authority and Soundstage, like I said, mini rock concert that you are having in your own home. If you are a big heavy metal, hard rock listener, this is a better choice for you than the many other speakers. So if I put Metallica album, this one will outperform many other speakers. Like Metallica Black Album, like Don't Tread on Me, The God That Failed, all those drum rolls and guitar riffs and the voice of the James Hetfield spread out all over the room with the great authority and musical signature. This speaker can rock. Then also a live performance if you listen to a lot of live performance like me, live concert recording, this one produce real live-like sound. Because I was listening to James Taylor Steamroller. That sound is a live recording. It sounded so good. I felt like I was listening in the live concert hall. That's how great this little speaker can reproduce live recording music. Truly impressive in that regard. And also very impressive in reproducing heavy metal, hard rock music. If you are a rocker, if you like heavy metal, hard rock, this can rock you. Trust me. It can reproduce those dynamic guitar riffs and drum rolls and all the lead guitars and all that with the full authority and naturally and cleanly with big white soundstage. As I get older, I'm not much of a hard rock, heavy metal guy anymore. And if you are a genre music listener, if you like JBL sound, this is the one that you can enjoy. And if you never had an experience with JBL speaker, this is the one that you can try. Probably you might like it. This one is as good as ELAC B6.2, if not better, honestly. And this one have a bigger soundstage than the ELAC B6.2. But ELAC B6.2 have a little bit more refinement in upper mids and high frequency. If I have to compare to my budget mini monitor speakers, PSP P5 have a more refined and still detail and clarity contained in that musical sound signature. That's my ears prefer based on my taste of music and based on my listening habit. But this speaker, I can totally live with it. I can totally replace my PSP P5 with this one. It does have a more refinement on the top end. So rest of the sound signature, I have no complaint at all. Bass performance, mid-range accuracy, vocal accuracy, regardless of male or female vocals. This one can produce with very clean and natural tone accuracy. Only the highs that holding me back. So upside of the speaker is naturally producing sound with honesty, good instrument separation, big wide soundstage. It may be a great monitor speaker. So highly recommended speakers for price to performance ratio, reproducing the sound with full authority and naturally, organically, cleanly with great transparency, with very good amount of details. If you are after that kind of speaker in this price range, this is a choice for you. This is a great candidate to going up against the popular speakers like ELAC B6.2 or PSP P5 in this price range. If I have to choose that three speakers, number 3, ELAC B6.2, number 2, JBL Stage 130, number 1, PSP Alpha P5. That is only based on my taste and my listening habit. I can live with either speakers out of these three in this price range. They are all great sounding speakers, very musical speakers. But when it's come to highs, JBL is brighter than the P5. ELEC is brighter than the P5. That's why I choose PSP P5. To be honest, PSP P5 Soundstage is smaller than the Stage 130 or ELEC P6.2. It's a bit smaller. But PSP P5 have a great definition on bass and rest of the frequency without bright or fatiguing sound. That's why I choose PSP P5. But your taste may be different. Your room, your equipment may tell a different story. So I'm just sharing my experience and my review. So this is a great speaker. So if you are after a mini monitor speaker that can really rock, because this can rock better than any speaker under $500 guarantee. This kind of speaker have very good price to performance ratio, well worth your money. And only thing I would like to remind you, please do not toe in these speakers. If you toe in the speakers, usually it will get a little brighter. You just need to do a straightforward position like 6 or 7 feet apart. Maybe 6 feet is good enough because this one have a very big wide soundstage. So you have very big sweet spot that you can enjoy your music. And if you have a tone control on your amplifier, you may want to tone down like 5 decibel on the high frequency. So American hi-fi manufacturers are stepping up the games. Last year, Klipsch released a new reference Premier series, which impressed me a lot. I did review on RP8000F, which I think is a better buy than a many $2,000 speakers. And I think they're gonna release more products to compete in the market. So that's only getting better for consumer like us. Great little speaker with very high potential, good quality sound that this guy can produce. Only downside is the bright highs that you have to tame down. If you have the treble or equalizer, they will improve greatly. This really intrigued me to review Klipsch RP600M, which I'm going to do, but I'm just waiting for a piano black. Because if I fall in love with him, I want to keep it. So that's why I'm waiting for piano black version. So I will keep you guys updated. This is my review. Thank you for watching and happy listening.